What is up, everyone? Boschee here, back at it in Raid Shadow Legends, and today I wanted to have a discussion with all of you. So if you didn't see, Raid Shadow Legends posted a community Q&A video up on their YouTube channel, and I kind of wanted to just walk through the questions and answers and give my opinion on it. Overall, it didn't seem to be a very well-received video. A lot of people were complaining that certain topics weren't picked up on, and there was no real information in it. And overall, I do kind of agree with that point, but I do like the fact that they are trying to communicate with the player base and let everyone know what's going on while answering some of the questions that were asked. But yeah, I'm not going to do a live reaction to it just because typically my live reactions have been pretty long and I wanted to keep this video straight to the point and whatnot. So I have the questions and answers over to the side and I just wanted to discuss it with you guys. As always, please in the comment section below, let me know what you guys saw of the video, and then also let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinion on things. Let me know things that you think should be focused on. Maybe it's a UI change or an AI change, or maybe they need to work on balancing champions a little bit more rather than adding things into the game. But yeah, just let me know in the comment section below. But before I keep on ranting, let's go ahead and jump on to the questions. So the very first question was, will Lydia's requirements change when the Samurai faction gets added into the game? So if we go ahead and go over into Faction Wars, you can see that it takes 819 stars, which, if you didn't know, you have to completely finish Faction Wars, all 21 stages for each faction as a 3-star. Which is already hard as it is, right? So adding another faction is just going to be crazy. And their answer to this question was not immediately. So I guess their plan of attack with adding the Samurai faction is they will be adding that faction into the game, but not necessarily adding a faction crypt right away, which seems to be fine, right? You know, it gives people time to gather the champions, to level them, to just play around with them generally in the game, and then later on they'll add the faction crypt when they feel like people have had enough time or there are enough champions to finish it, and then that faction crypt will be added onto the Lydia requirement. I think this is a good way to go, and I know probably a lot of people do not like this. And the reason why I'm okay with it is obviously I have Lydia, so there is that point behind it, so it doesn't really affect me too much. But the big point is that Lydia was a completion reward. You got Lydia for completing Faction Wars as it is now, and so in order to keep Lydia as a completion reward, they have to add that faction into it, right? Just because, like, let's say the faction gets added and you get to stage 14, so you get about, what, 42 stars if you get to stage 14 in Samurais. That means that you won't really need to complete any of these other, like, you won't have to complete stage 21 of any other faction, which is kind of a bummer in the sense of, like, the people that earned Lydia before did have to complete 21 of every other faction. So that's where I think this is why they're trying to do it to that, or trying to set the Samurai faction into the Lydia requirement. And so I think, honestly, it's a good thing. It keeps Lydia relevant in the sense of being a completion reward. But yeah, let me know. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that disagree with my take on this, but overall, I think it's a good thing. Next, we have the future of Doom Tower. So pretty much the big thing that came from this was where are the next iterations of Doom Tower? Why hasn't it rotated or anything? And this one is a very understandable question, and that's just because in the initial Doom Tower video, they talked about rotating and making more iterations of Doom Tower, and then when it got to the second month of Doom Tower, nothing changed. Everything was exactly the same. And so they said that they're currently working on the next iteration, you know, trying to solidify some of the mechanics of Doom Tower itself, like the bosses and whatnot. And I honestly wasn't mad about it not rotating, and the reason why was it allowed for progression. So it allowed people to work on certain champions, or maybe work on certain teams, get better gear for them, or maybe level a specific champion for a different team, or whatnot. or even the secret rooms, right? So let's just say like you got all the way through hard, but then you had to work on secret rooms. Well, if you're working on certain secret rooms, and then the Doom Tower rotates and the secret room goes away, you're going to feel a bit cheated just because obviously that secret room is no longer there and it's not relevant until the next time it comes around. And so I felt like it was a good thing that it stuck around this way because it allowed for people to work on certain things and feel like they're doing better in the Doom Tower. Now, I do get the point behind, wanting a different rotation, wanting to challenge yourself in the game. And I think that is a very good thing. Um, and I'm guessing they're probably going to maybe do rotations like every 3 months. That would be my ideal purpose or my ideal setup. And the reason being is that typically the fragment summon champions that you get from the secret rooms, it's going to take about 3 months, maybe 4 months, depending on how many secret rooms you're finishing, in order to summon one champion. And there's going to be a total, I think, of 3 through normal and 3 through hard so far. So being on a 3 month rotation would be good just because you can focus on those secret rooms and the Doom Tower itself for those 3 months, possibly earn a fragment champion and then move on to the next iteration of the Doom Tower. Now, I don't know if they're going to keep to that just because I can see a lot of people being like, well, why don't we rotate it every month and eventually get back to the secret room that you were working on? I can kind of see it both ways, but I'd rather them work on solidifying mechanics rather than just shifting things around and acting like Doom Tower is okay. I still think there are plenty of things that they can work on or fix. I know there's multiple bugs still. People do want to see, a different boss at the very top, but all in all, that's not going to change much, right? There's still going to be those bugs. There's still going to be issues with mechanics, and so I'd rather them work on mechanics and solidifying that before pushing out a quote-unquote rotation. But yeah, that is my take on it. Overall, though, I have been very happy with Doom Tower, so I can't really complain. I did not even complete it last month. I had a very hard time, actually. I think I got to floor 100, and Scarab King just completely stopped me. So I worked on a couple of champions and was able to get through it. So all in all, I think Doom Tower is being a great endgame content piece of the game. But yeah, let me know what you guys are doing in Doom Tower. How are you doing? If you're getting stuck, if you completed it, and all that great stuff. Okay, so the next question was, why is Undead getting all new epics, or all these new epics that have been introduced into the game? So yeah, Undead Horde has a ridiculous amount of champions. They almost have as many legendaries as they do epics, and a lot of people saw this as an issue just because most recently we got another 2 undead, right? We got Vogoth and Anix. And so a lot of people are like, why are we adding any more undead? We don't need any more undead. We want, things like dwarves or maybe skinwalkers. And so it was a valid question, right? A lot of people are probably wondering, why are these champions being added? And the short of the answer was the fact that those champions have been in development for a long time, and that's the way it is. Like, they're not just going to stop development on a champion just because that that current faction had a lot. It was an idea, and they needed to see it through, which I definitely respect. Now, do I hope they work on more skinwalkers and dwarves soon? Definitely. Now, with this question came some great news, though. They did say that they were going to introduce a new dwarven legendary along with two dwarf epics as well this month. So we're hoping that maybe the dwarf legendary is part of a fusion event this month, which would be awesome, just because it kind of gives everyone a shot at getting a dwarf legendary. But yeah, so that's some good news coming from that. And then the last question, which I think everyone has been asking about, is the dupe system. Like, where is the dupe system? Are they working on a dupe system? And this, I think, is what kind of made people mad, and the answer was they're working on it. And we've been hearing that for a while now. Even before I even started the game, I've heard people say that they wanted a dupe system, and I definitely can relate. as you can see right here, yes, I have a decent amount of legendaries, but I got 3 rosins. I fused 1, pulled 2. I made a Pixneal, I pulled 1. I have 2 War Mothers. I have 2 Biggins. I have 2 Drop Gulls. So I definitely know what the dupe system would do for me. It would definitely help me a lot. But yeah, they're working on it. I'd rather them get it right than introduce a dupe system and then people complain about that as well. So overall, I'm happy to hear they're working on it. I wish it was in the game, yeah, but it's some communication, right? So overall, not a bad thing. The last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is some great news, and this is actually confirmed, is that they are adding a fitting room to the artifact system. So going in here, you can go right here, go over to filter, and there's going to be like a fitting room. I'll go ahead and throw an image up on the screen because we did get it like a little image of what it's going to look like. And this is going to allow you to equip artifacts to a champion, but not necessarily equip them. You're going to put the, it's going to look exactly like this pretty much. And you're going to be able to see your total stats and everything, and pretty much just fit your champion with the artifacts you want before you commit to actually attaching it. This way, if you attach a wrong piece or whatnot, you don't have to pay the silver to take it off, which is like a huge thing. It's going to save people a bunch of silver, and I definitely am looking forward to that. But yeah, that is all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Please let me know, once again, what you guys thought of the video of the Q&A. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me, because that's definitely a thing that's possible. And I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.